Right, another quick short. Jamie, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate. It's been a busy couple of weeks. No, it's been a week since we last spoke. Week, see, time. That's when you know time's going. I had annual leave, but then first week back and some training. Very good training. But 12 days out of work is a long time, and then yeah, so catching up. How about you?
Yeah, I had a week off. It was nice. Spent some time with the kids.
Saw Paw Patrol on your own?
Saw Paw Patrol. Yeah, definitely took my son.
No, you didn't.
There was an older couple, when I say older, in their 70s in the cinema on their own at Paw Patrol, and it gave me two strange thought processes. One was, do they want to know what happens with the Mighty Paw Patrol, as it was the film, or sadly, is it cheaper to go to the cinema than heat the house for the day if you've got a cinema?
Oh god, that's sad. I'm just glad you really pronounced poor, because if we got that
That would have been bad.
Patrol on the end sounds really
Yeah.
And then you're saying there's a 70-year-old couple in there. That really could set
but
the
yeah,
alarms.
no, it was good. It was packed full of kids, half term, obviously.
So you can fully enjoy it, because I know you know all the characters and what each dog does.
Chase is on the case, obviously.
I genuinely don't. I know they're dogs and it's human.
A bit of Paw Patrol banter, and you can't come back with me. It's bad. It's bad.
I'm proud that I can't. But anyway, Dan, what are we talking about today then?
We're going to be talking about something that was actually in the news last week. I think I pinged you, or last week, or week before, I can't remember, about this, and said, I've just seen this article. It's really interesting. It made BBC News about an organisation called Zipline.
Yes. And what do they do?
So they have developed the ability to fly autonomous drones from one location to another.
Yes.
At long distances, hundreds of kilometers at a time, battery powered drones from one location to another. And they actually started it to resolve a human problem. Right.
Yes, which because you sent it, I then read and could not believe it, that they are delivering blood. So they're trialing it out in Africa. Rwanda is one of the areas, and this is a crazy stat: 500,000 pints of blood delivered in 6 years, and genuinely saving lives. So it's because initially people have heard about Amazon delivery drones, so it's always been focused on business. That is a crazy thing to do, and to do it is in a way in a trial almost. Because it's kind of risky in a sense, to go, we're relying on you getting this blood delivered to us. What happens if it doesn't work? So
someone's donated the blood, and then it gets ruined because it balls up, or it crashes. Or
it drops out of it. Because I'm thinking like a claw at an arcade. I know it sounds primitive, but that sort of thing. Or if they land it and it squashes your blood. But that's a crazy stat, isn't it?
It is a crazy stat. It is crazy. And if you go on YouTube or Google Zipline blood delivery, it will show you. And it's quite interesting, isn't it? So how it works is, if you ever as a kid had those pullback cars or pullback things, and then it would fire off. They kind of fire the drones off, and then less like drones, more like aeroplane drones, aren't they?
It's kind of like got side pillars, sort of thing, like a mixture, I'd say, of a helicopter, drone / plane. And they show also
when it hits the GPRS location, it just drops the blood can
angle in as well, because if it has to come at a certain angle because of how the building is or whatever, they can angle because of the coordinates. It knows how to, because it's autonomous, it can sort of sway as well, which is insane.
And what I love about it is that it's like tech for good. And getting blood to these remote locations can be really tricky. These remote hospitals can be really tricky to do it and resolve that problem, which is awesome. And also the way their engineering is really interesting. So, well, I mean, I'm a big advocate of this type of engineering.
Yes.
So what would traditionally happen, or what a lot of kind of robotic engineering is done with lots of planning, lots of
Yes.
Usually lots of planning, lots of design work, and maybe 1 or 2 trials. They actually
Over a long period as well.
over a long
That,
period. Yeah,
very
absolutely.
long period.
You know, and then they would like go back to drawing boards for like 3 months, then try again. They actually took like an agile, I'm going to use the word agile, a nimble way of doing it, which was just continuous trial and error. Just like how do we, and they broke loads of stuff, but how do we continuously, and one of the things they want to do is bring the drones back, and they were using mattresses, right, to try and catch the drone and land it, and then what they did was expand it so it was more like a trampoline type thing that was landed, and it was just a continuous trial and error. Like, let's not wait 3 months or 2 months before we try a flight again. Let's do it tomorrow, right? Let's have another go tomorrow. And then obviously the other thing they're looking to do as an organization is not just resolve dropping blood and those kind of human elements. It's actually how can they turn it into a commercial.
Yes, there's always going to be that. It's like, it is tech for good, but there is always going to be how can we make this more sort of usable in the business world and scale it up in a model and stuff and commercialize it, which I get. So and it can then do more because then there'll be, if there's more commercial input into it, then it might scale it up quicker to do even more good stuff as well, to be fair. So it'll be mutually beneficial, I'd hope. But the other thing I saw that was interesting as well is that, because obviously things like that, people straight away think about the noise, of course. That's the thing. A lot of it, people don't like how much airplanes are increasing. So they've considered that and said that they've done it to be a style of a hummingbird. Like, so it's very quiet. And on that same YouTube video, you can genuinely hear nothing, can you? It's like silent.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And I think the other reason why they're called Zipline, I think we should add in there, was actually one of the biggest concerns with commercial use of drop-in packages was, the noise a drone would make as it like dropped in your back garden or on your front doorstep or the front of the road. But actually how they've designed this thing is that, like you were saying, a hummingbird style, you can't hear it and it would just fly above your house. And actually a zip line would drop out of the drone, then fall down. But the zip line could also, if there was wind or anything, move from side to side accordingly to adjust itself to drop the package and release the package to you, which is just, for me, it's insane to think that we could see that and it's being trialed. But the other thing that For Good and other things that it can do is like food or medicine or
of course,
small items initially that it could drop off. Then they're talking about reducing times from 20 minutes, half an hour to like 5 minutes. They'd even worked out how they could attach the drones and the Zipline packages to the side of a restaurant or out the front of a restaurant.
It's insane. It's insane. Like, there was one of the things I think that I did say to you as well, is because they talked about the commercialization. Is like, it then leads, of course, to the age-old thing that we've discussed a few times on some of these shorts, is does it impact jobs? Because you've got delivery jobs. So the minute it goes commercial, you've got Amazon, and some people genuinely have that as their main source of income, and they work so many hours, they deliver so many things across so many areas, and it's scary. It's scary that in that sense, because that could really, think about it, if Amazon go, right, we don't want to pollute, because again, people will throw it sustainably, which is great, but we can then do, I don't know, 100 packages in a day instead of 60. First thing that's going to go is someone who drives. First thing. So it's scary.
And but there would be less cars on the road, less people dropping your package of batteries or something to your front door. It
makes sense. It makes sense. But it's like, we're seeing so many technology advances. So again, we talked about the car thing last week, and we talked about taxis, and we didn't even think about that. If you lose taxi drivers, Uber, that's again a whole workforce of people. Where do they go? Supermarkets looking at like, just you go in and check out yourself and purchase. That's a whole, there's so many industries. Like, how are we gonna sort of resolve that from the human side and the economy side? Because that is and it's not keeping up with that technology, because in previous years people said it's always happened. Look at the Industrial Revolution. Yeah, great, but that's one industry. We're looking at now, I've just named two there. You've got technical industry, digital industry as well, delivery industry. There's so many industries that at once are going to be kind of hit, and it's going to be, I think it's the governments that really need to start thinking about this. So it's going to be very hard.
The other news case, I guess, for those things are things like ambulances, right? One of the things they touched on was how quickly can you get someone from A to B?
Yeah. You did say about this, like, I did have images though of someone like Homer Simpson going up the mountain swaying,
and just smacking again.
Yeah, going out, and then he hits and he goes all the way back down again. That's the clip. You've got to put that clip in, because that's one of the greatest clips ever. It's the one where he thinks he's going to skateboard over the cliff and he thinks he's making it. Always get my reference in. I always manage to do it. But no, this one was really interesting because it came. You said it kind of left field, because we've been looking a lot at the traditional Amazon, Apple, ChatGPT's obviously got mentioned. Microsoft did in the last episode, the episode before the last one, and this one is in an industry that has been looked at, but by a company I don't think many people would have heard of it. I don't think, I'll make that statement. I don't think people who would listen to this would say with confidence, I'd heard of Zipline.
No. And look, you could be getting your McDonald's, KFC, or something healthier delivered via.
I'm glad you said healthier, because that's, again, it's meant to be for good, not to make us all even fatter than what we are.
Comes back to my Wally, right? Just get it delivered. It's fine. I'll order it on my Apple Vision Pro. And,
oh God, it's where we're going, isn't it? It is. It's all going to link. Apple will probably go and buy Zipline, and it'll be an app, and then that'll be it. But yeah, as always, we try and cover a few other things. So I don't know if you saw recently, Luton. This blew my mind. That I think it's called Lemon Fried Chicken in town. I've never been there, but it's one takeaway in the UK, best takeaway.
I've never been there.
Yeah, there you go. I like to try and get a few more things about Luton, but yeah,
Chicken George in Luton was in Luton. Controversially left Luton and went to.
Oh yeah, that's a conversation that goes down a dark route with some people.
But that also won takeaway of the year. So we have some great takeaways.
Oh, we've got the Wigmore near my area, Wigmore Fish and Chip Restaurant, which was, I think, in the top 4 of fish takeaways in the UK. And then it opened a restaurant. And if you are local, you've heard about it, and you're not sure, go to the restaurant. It's actually a really nice restaurant. If it was in London, I'm telling you, people would be buzzing about it, because you don't tend to get too many just predominantly fish restaurants.
No.
So that's another shout out that I'm happy to promote.
They always put the catch number on the fish on the takeaway. I always think that's nice as well. Like, yeah. So
they do some great stuff. So I like to always try and reference that. And then obviously Luton had a great result last week. Well, obviously Nottingham Forest away is tougher, because they've been in the Premier League already a year and they've had a lot of money thrown at them. But you kind of look at some of the games and you think, could we nick a 3 points there, or could they? But to come back from 2-0 down, it does feel like a victory from a mentality point of view. It's a massive one. So big one this week.
Aston Villa away tomorrow. I've got a ticket. Me and my son are driving up to Birmingham.
Oh wow, you're doing the driving. Nice. But that one, if they do anything, I'll be amazed, because they've won 11 consecutive home games. Villa, so they are a machine at home, and they do look in very good form. But yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, as always, it has been a pleasure, Darren.
Been a pleasure. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, take care.
Cheers.